Welcome back to the SuperFan Diaries. We're coming to you from our studio on Broadway in downtown Nashville. I'm your host, J.R. Green. Make sure to subscribe and check out epic stories, videos, and pictures on our website, superfandiaries.com. Today's guest reminds us that fandom isn't just about watching the game. It's about showing up. It's about community. And sometimes it's about putting on a costume and becoming part of the atmosphere. He's a Baylor superfan who's helped connect the Waco community to Baylor sports one ticket at a time. He's a proud Eagle Scout, an Alpha Phi Omega Life member, and now a brand new dad. Ladies and gentlemen, Travis Carver, but around Baylor Nation, they know him as T-Rex. T-Rex, welcome to the show, my man.
Oh, thank you. I feel like you got like a dossier on me or something.
Well, I mean, you dress up like this. I've seen the videos. I think even the guests listening, they could just Google your name right now, and you've got some amazing different outfits. I mean, from literally dinosaur T-Rex. Today, you've got an amazing, hat on as a bear. And I know in the pre-show, we were actually connecting a little bit. You even have a bear on the floor. I mean, you are all in on Baylor, which is pretty amazing, man. So thanks so much for being on the show today.
Oh, no. Happy to be here. Love it. Appreciate it.
You bet. All right. Well, and one of the big things when we jump into all these stories, we get to learn about the biggest fans in the world. And I have to say, before Baylor and before the Baylor fans knew you as T-Rex, that nickname actually came from your dad. Tell us the story.
Yeah. So I don't know if there is much of a story other than my first name is Travis. And I guess I was a big kid. So my dad used to say like Travisaurus Rex. I don't really know where he came up with that.
Yeah.
I hated it as like a kid, like you hate every nickname. Most people probably hate what their parents give them a nickname. And, he would yell at football games at me and on the field. And I'm like, Dad, you're embarrassing me. But then just one day, I think my senior year of high school, I was like, well, I guess it's time to embrace something. So, and then I just took it and ran with it. So there's not, not some glamorous story behind it other than I'm 6'4" and my name starts with a T, but I do love dinosaurs, so.
Who doesn't? I mean, who doesn't?
Yeah.
So tell us something, because I know in terms of fandom, what was your relationship with your dad like growing up? I mean, did he raise you a Baylor fan?
Oh, yeah. So grew up in Waco where Baylor is. So my dad's he didn't go to Baylor. He was born and raised in Waco, not very far from campus, just kind of that side of town, I guess you could say.
Yep.
And then I grew up right near where he grew up. So we're maybe from the current stadium, less than 10 minutes from the current football stadium, less than 10 minutes from campus. Growing up, stadium was way on the other side of town, so a little further. But yeah, I just grew up. He was a Baylor fan. My mom did go to Baylor, but she's not big on sports, even though she was dragged to those games for all those years. But
of course,
so there is some Baylor in the blood, but really it's that outside. Just growing up local and just getting dragged to a lot of not fun games as a kid in the 90s. And so
literally, that's my next question, because, I have to ask, like, what was it like when you went to, these Baylor games? Because guess what? I went to TCU from 1993 to 1997. And I don't think either one of our teams were winning many football or basketball games back then. I mean, I think literally TCU may have won one game in like 4 years. I know my Horned Frog fans are going to be heckling and writing comments that, no, JR, we actually won a few. I think Max Nocky was our quarterback, if I can recall that at all. But realistically, not sure either of us had many fans that could be guests on SuperFan Diaries back then. So what was it like going to the games?
Looking back on it, I always had fun because I was a little kid getting to go to a college football game, and it was expected. Like if it's Saturday in the fall and it's a home game, we were there. So better not invite us to a family reunion, which we always had family reunions in the fall. I guess that's when people do family reunions. But if you live in Texas, you really shouldn't plan anything, especially weddings.
Yes, I agree.
I can tell you how many of those I've skipped. If you're my friend, you want me to be at your wedding, don't plan it.
Don't schedule it September, October, November. It's pretty simple.
Yeah.
Those are like days.
My birthday is in September, and I don't even. I skip my birthday. It really was just that's what we did. I like to think that I went into it like, oh, we're gonna win, because I do think that now. Like even if Baylor played Michigan or Ohio State or whoever, I expect my team to win because I don't go there to watch them lose. But
in basketball, they do win. So I mean,
not this year, but normally yes. It was just what we did. So it was the routine, I guess. And we always showed up early. We ate in the press box, in like the member area or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was like, and they always had like really good food. And so I was always looking forward to, I was probably looking forward more to that than it was the game. But,
I love the honesty.
Yeah, we grew up, we were, I guess, blessed that no one went to the game. So we had 50-yard line tickets for probably not very much money compared to what it costs now. And
oh, yeah.
so I got to grow up with really great seats to watch some really good Nebraska teams, So
that's exactly right. Watch Texas. You watch Texas team, watch Nebraska, watch Oklahoma.
Yeah, I got to see some really good football. Just only 11 of the 22 guys were doing it. So
I know. But, the great news is Baylor and even TCU over the past, I'd say 15 years came around. I mean, obviously, TCU made it to the final championship. They beat Michigan, which people forget about, but because they got, shellacked by Georgia. But I mean, at the end of the day, Baylor also, I mean, they've been marching toward multiple undefeated seasons. And let's just face it, you and I, as a TCU fan and a Baylor fan, probably 2000, I don't know, 12, I don't think we noticed each other. But then all of a sudden, both schools started getting good. And then all of a sudden, we became a rivalry, like out of nowhere. I mean, I've even got the picture up here. See, I got the picture up there for us because it became legit. Those ticket prices began to skyrocket between the two teams. And that's just good. Good fandom is good for everybody. So at what point did Baylor go from your dad's team, training you, getting to go to some really good games, sitting in great seats, to something that truly became your own?
Probably once I was out of college. So I didn't do my undergrad at Baylor. I had the chance to go play Division III football. I was injured, so it didn't work out, but I stayed. I just stayed there and worked for the team. So went to maybe like 1 or 2 games over a 4-year period in Waco. But once I graduated, I moved up to Kansas City, which is heart of Big 12 territory when you think about it. I had Kansas State, and Iowa State right there. Sadly, I missed the Mizzou time frame. They were already out of the Big 12, which would have been fun to go to Columbia. Sorry. Yeah. It wouldn't be fun to go to Columbus. We'll probably get murdered in football. But yeah, so I mean, I was a couple years in, basketball for Baylor had really picked up. And I was just like, oh, hey, we're playing at Kansas. I've always heard about going to Kansas and watching a basketball game.
Yeah.
Then I see the ticket prices and I'm like, that's why I always hear about it and never see photos of anybody I know doing it.
No. Yeah.
So, but I decided to bite the bullet. I live 45 minutes from Lawrence, and, I went to a basketball game and I was like, wow, like I haven't been to a road sporting event since I was a kid, and never anything like that, because that's a whole different environment. And
yeah,
I was like, what else? Like, Baylor's got to play all these other sports up here. Like, I can't go to Waco. I don't have any money. I'm fresh out of college. I'm working, entry level position. And I was like, well, there's the soccer tournament for the Big 12 is in Kansas City, and it's $5 or something. So, and it just so happened that Baylor was good in soccer at the time, and we won the conference title. And so, it just kind of built. And I was like, all right, well, what else is there? And there was a tennis tournament, and I went to that, and now I'm like a huge college tennis fan, apparently.
Wow.
And like, it's really weird because I don't watch regular tennis. It just started picking up there. And then I was, obviously going to the football games and then more basketball games. I had 3 colleges that I could go to that were at least basketball season wise, the Midwest, and they love basketball. So it just started developing into that. And then, that's when I kind of started doing the social media thing, and Twitter, I feel like, was really starting to pick up a little bit more back then. And this would be like circa 2016 to 2019 era.
Yeah.
And that's when it just kind of started, people started just seeing me wearing ridiculous outfits because I just thought it'd be fun to do. And it just kind of skyrocketed from there.
All right. Well, tell me.
So, I mean, it's pretty organic.
Well, it's organic. I mean, the fact that you got to go to tennis games, you went to soccer games. I mean, you went to what I'll call off the cuff, athletic events. And especially in the Big 12, we all know it's football. But basketball began to take over. So where were you in 2021 when Baylor cut down the nets?
Oh, I was there. I was there with a few thousand other people because it was unfortunately, it was right before I say COVID ended. Like, the restrictions were all lifted, and so the whole tournament was in a 25% capacity type situation. So 25% of what I estimate the Colt Stadium is at least 100,000 seats. So very overall empty. And then you had 2 private schools. You had a very tiny Gonzaga versus not that big Baylor. So a lot of echoes in that arena, but I was there.
It didn't matter.
I was there.
You got the trophy. That's right.
I was there. We got the confetti. We popped the bottles afterwards in downtown Indianapolis, and I shed some tears and
that's
lots
awesome.
of tears. And yeah, no, there was no way I was going to miss it. So I did what I had to do.
All right. Well, one thing that also stands out about your story, T-Rex, and what you've built is you're not just attending games, you're helping connect people in the Waco community to Baylor sports. How did that start?
Yeah, so it's interesting because I don't even live in Waco. I live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, so 2 hours roughly away. But I'm from Waco, obviously, like we said before.
Yeah.
So I went back to school to Baylor, actually, to get my master's starting in 22, and a lot of the students had been following me, and I'd made friends with some students in like the student section at games, and because I wanted our student section to be way rowdier, and I would try to influence them.
Yes.
Like, dude, y'all got to do something like this. I know it's Baylor, but come on, like you can yell, you can heckle, just don't do certain things. And so a basketball team fresh off a national title, the students are obviously fully engaged, wanting to go to the game. The student tickets are selling out like in 3 seconds. People are like, hey, do you happen to know anybody that has a ticket? And then I would just put that out on Twitter, or we're on the forums, and people would just kind of, oh, here's a couple extra tickets. I can't make it on a Tuesday night. Most of our fans don't live in Waco. They live in the bigger metroplexes, and they can't make the drive. So it just really, again, organic. Like a couple tickets here, a couple tickets there. And then that just kind of blew up into this thing. And I think that first year I was only given to students, but I mean, well over 1,000 tickets over the span of the Big 12 season.
Wow.
Distributed to students just for free. People just sending me tickets, and you're
distributing them. You're like you're the correlator.
Like, hey,
you're the U.S. mail.
I was keeping a note on my phone, and like, all right, this name, this number, needs one ticket. This guy, like these are the requests, and
you did this all free. There was no percentage of cut. Like you're not making money off this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm doing it, during the week. I'm doing it on the way to the game. I'm driving down, going to the game. People are calling me and saying, hey, do you have tickets? And I'm just, hey, I got, how many do you need? And now it's sometimes become like how many do you need? Because I have too many. But it started with basketball and then I decided, well, the students, Baylor has ways for the students to get tickets from fans that aren't going. They have a return system in place that the fans can return a ticket for free.
Okay.
It can be available to the students. So I was like, well, they got something in place, but the people who don't are the people that are in town or fans that maybe can't afford a ticket, or and Waco is a lower income area in the grander scheme of things. We have the silos and all that, but you have Baylor's giant private university, but overall, like socioeconomically, it's a lower income area. So growing up there, I know a lot of people. Baylor wasn't the hometown team when I was there, and I was like, well, how can I A, help people just go enjoy a game,
right,
and B, benefit my team and maybe create new fans? And
I mean,
so it just went from there.
Travis, I don't know. I've interviewed a whole lot of fans. I've never heard a story like this of where an individual takes it upon himself to help the other individuals in the community. Because you're right. Even though these tickets may be for free, I assure you, the alumni organization buying those seats, it is not for free. I already know without even Googling it, those tickets are easily $300 to $400 a seat per game. When you add in all the alumni, you add in the donation, to be able to get some of those seats. Baylor, it's been a hot football team before, and, they could very well be again. But the fact that you've been able to find this smorgasbord of tickets to just distribute, when are you going to run for mayor of Waco?
Well, I am trying to actively move back to Waco, actually, relocate my family. So, we'll see. I mean, like,
because you got a lot of people who love you. You have a lot of people who love you.
There might be a lot of people who hate me too.
I mean, I understand that, but I mean, you've done legal gifting, and so it's all legalized. I mean, you've been doing it. So when you decide to run for mayor, who wouldn't vote for you? So I think you've changed. I mean, have you been around people when they get the ticket and get to see their emotions and been able to get a free ticket to a game? Have you been able to see it? Because it sounds amazing.
Not necessarily when I give it to them, because it's all digital, obviously, in this day and age. But I mean, I have a kind of a core group of people that I know that are locals that I've they're always reaching out and I'm always helping them out. But they'll send me photos or they'll text me and just like, thank you so much. And then I get that random text from, I have no idea who this number is, but my number's now like out there.
Wow.
I'm like, you want tickets? Like, text this guy, he'll get you a ticket. And which is, maybe I need a burner. I don't know.
What could go wrong with that, Travis? What could go wrong?
I should switch to email only for that. But yeah, no, I mean, people will send me photos. They'll send me stories about, their 85-year-old grandma or whatever hasn't been to a game since she was a senior, stuff like that. And, little kids want to go to a game. They've never been to a game. You know, our basketball arena, we built a new arena. It's only 7,500 seats, really 7,000.
Yep.
Then
it's
you
like
take
Duke.
out the students and band, and
It's tiny.
you know, there's not a lot of tickets available. People want to go. You know, but it's expensive, and so
absolutely.
It's one. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people who love it, and it's fun to see people, you know, getting to go enjoy something that I love enjoying so much.
It's fandom at its core. I mean, Travis, you're changing, and I know for just one moment of life, but you're improving the mental health of your community as well, giving people opportunities to do that. And based on this and the amazing love of the fans and the support, Baylor University recognized you as honorary alumni by choice. That's a huge honor. What did that mean to you when you were presented with this award?
Oh no, it was awesome. So, you know, they actually honored me and my brother, and actually predated the ticket stuff. Actually, it is back in 2020, but it kind of just, I mean, I'm sure they would do it again now, maybe twice. Well, now I'm a real alumni, so they can't. But no, that was a huge honor. I actually skipped a wedding. We talked about skipping weddings earlier. My wife's cousin, well, at the time fiance, I guess, but they were getting married, and I was like, I got to go to this thing. Like, I'm getting honored with this, you know, ultimately a piece of paper in her mind. But I think we hadn't turned, you know, like we hadn't made that turn yet. Like this is 2020. We've been together for like 2 years.
Yep.
Been to games with me, but it's definitely escalated since then. So I don't think she would question it now, but back then it was, and there's been other weddings that have been skipped in that family. So
you know what? That's called football season, but it's an amazing, you know, I mean, it's life.
It's crazy. It was a huge honor. I've been blessed to actually nominate somebody myself.
Oh, great.
Another Baylor super fan that's a diehard basketball guy. I mean, he hasn't missed a home game in like 25 seasons or something.
Amazing.
Like, and that's a lot of bad basketball.
I love him.
So, you know, it's a cool system that Baylor has. It allows people to nominate, you know, people for that. So I mean, a huge honor. You know, when I got my master's, and I had, you know, granted, I didn't have the actual piece of paper because, you know, when you graduate, they want to make sure you don't have any fines or owe traffic tickets. But, you know,
everything's out there, man. Everything's out there.
I have photos like when you know, at a graduation party of me holding my alumni by choice, then my quote unquote diploma.
Yep.
And I'm like, I don't know which one, you know, I got alumni by choice or alumni by purchase. I'm not really sure which one is.
You got it.
Better, so.
You got it because you deserved it. All right. One thing I love about your story, Travis, is you're a proud Eagle Scout. And someone who's also an Eagle Scout, myself, I know how long it takes to become that. I mean, as a background, the only reason I became an Eagle Scout, I'll just tell everybody in the world this because it's true, is because my mom said, if you don't get your Eagle Scout, you're not going to get your license. You ain't going to get a license, son. So you know what I did, Travis? I went and got my Eagle Scout because I was not going to be that kid in high school without a driver's license. But as someone who's spent obviously a lot of time in scouting, you know, that connection, it means something. What lessons from becoming an Eagle Scout still guide your life today?
Oh, well, you know, it'd be a cliche answer, but it's the be prepared. You know, it's the motto of scouting. Like,
absolutely.
If you ever like, you know, come to one of my tailgates, like, I like to have everything possible there. I don't like to leave anything out of my control. You know, I can't control the weather, but I can have a tent, you know, or I can have a heater if it gets cold.
That's right.
You know, I need a can opener, and I lose my mind if I don't have, like, you know, if I can't find a can opener or something. I'm like, oh my God.
A Swiss Army knife.
Yeah. So I think be prepared, and then just, you know, kind of like you know, you had a goal, you know, it teaches you how to obtain goals and leadership ability. You know, there's so many lessons in scouting, and, you know, and I'm in it still to this day. I help with a local troop now.
Oh, wonderful.
As a leader. So yeah, I mean, it's awesome. It's great seeing the next group of youth coming up. So, I mean, I don't have a cool story like you. Like, mine was actually, I mean, it was expected of me because my dad,
mine was a threat. I don't know if it's a cool story. Yeah. That was a threat, Travis.
It was definitely expected of me. I don't know if I would have been allowed to walk out the house when I turned 18 if I didn't have it, because it was a family tradition. You either get an Eagle Scout or you won't be alive anymore. It's kind of what it felt like. So, at least at the time. So I had to have my license so I could drive myself to the meetings. You know, to go finish it. So.
Absolutely. All right. Well, I do know that, you know, in terms of those values, service, leadership, community, and being prepared, you know, they obviously show up, just like you mentioned, as being part of Baylor fandom as well. All right. It's now time to jump into something that changed your life forever. And so many of us listening can relate today. There's a new chapter in your life. You're a brand new dad. So congratulations It's an incredible moment. How does becoming a father change the way you think about traditions like Baylor sports and fandom?
Well, first off, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, definitely life changing. I guess we'll start with, and people, I say this all the time to them. They don't believe me, but I'm telling you the truth here. That baby was born around football season on purpose. So she was born in August. We had discussed we were going to stop trying it when December rolled around the year prior because I didn't want a baby born during football season because I didn't want to miss a game. And
Fandom, baby. Fandom, baby.
Yeah. She finally got on board with it. And luckily the timing worked out. It actually didn't matter. It was, so she was born in August of this past year past year, whatever.
Yep.
So that's the first, that's like, it changes things, but it ain't changing everything.
You have obviously a great wife.
Traditions, I can't go necessarily to as much as I used to.
Right.
Part of that also, job responsibilities, things like that as well have evolved over time. But,
life.
But hey, if I want to go to a game and my wife's working and I have to have the baby with me, got to take into consideration how late's this game going to go. And,
right.
During football season, we worked through it. She was a baby, so she was away.
Oh, yeah.
But now this coming fall might be, I'm hoping that I have that issue because that means we have night games. So, not much of a challenge with the 11 a.m. games. But, it changes a lot of things. Preparing for game day is a whole different.
Oh, yeah.
I have another clear bag to fill. I got another bag.
And a stroller.
Another reason for security to stop me.
Oh, yeah.
So if I don't already give them enough. So
now they're like, look at this guy dressed up and he has a baby. Oh.
Yeah, I rock her on my chest. I wear the chest. I got the carrier. I bring her to the games. I'm going to take her tomorrow to her first acrobatic and tumbling meet.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I'm going to take her to that. Soon to be 11 straight national titles right there. Shout out to them.
There you go.
Emerging sport will be NCAA next year for all the haters out there that think it's not real. So
there are so many fun sports that are continuing to come. Let's just face it, pickleball is going to be there soon too.
Oh yeah. We're going to have some old alumni, or they're going to come back to school to have some eligibility to play.
Absolutely. Sign me up.
It changes a lot of things, but it also enhances a lot of things. Like game days, have been so much more fun. Tailgating is more fun. It's probably better for my health that I have a baby now, like with me,
yes,
when I'm tailgating. So, but if mom is there, she's responsible. So,
I love it. I can't wait till she hears this episode and she hears you say she's responsible. But I tell you what, I can relate. When my children were younger, I live in Nashville and Tennessee obviously is in Knoxville, the Vols. And when I would go to those games, obviously I don't get back to very many TCU games, Travis, but I did go to graduate school at Tennessee, so I make it back over there. And, my theory, and you're taking a very different approach, which I love, but my theory was I would only take my children to games that I didn't really care about. So that way, if I have to leave in the second quarter, everything's okay. But I'm not taking them to a Florida or Alabama game because also the atmosphere is just too much, in my opinion, for taking lots of young children. But I would take them to all the little kind of B-list games.
Right. Yeah. No, we got the headphones. I found, Baylor Gold headphones on Amazon. So she wears the headphones to the games. And
yep.
Yeah, it's fun. I think, people, they see me wearing this, but then there's a baby. So if they think I'm a little too crazy, they kind of have to now reassess maybe.
You've got a great, talk about you're like James Bond. Because you've got this aura, you're T-Rex. And I know I'm sure when you walk in the stadium, people know who you are. You're a celebrity. You're a known individual within the Baylor fandom. And now that you have this baby, I promise, I could just see it now. It changes everything. Everybody's like, oh, he is such a responsible. He's dressed up like a bear, but he's so responsible.
Yeah, no, it's fun. I'm still trying to get her on the Simba cam. Unfortunately, my seats are right behind the recruiting section, so they try not to show that's what I was told. I thought they were just banning me from the screen, but no. I want to believe them that they can't show, there's a lot of compliance things and all that.
Right. All right, getting back to T-Rex. When T-Rex goes to another stadium, so if you come to Fort Worth or if you go to Austin or if you go into Kansas City, wherever you may be going, Manhattan, but not Manhattan, New York, Manhattan, Kansas. But when you do these trips, do you take the full outfit of T-Rex into the stadium?
Oh yeah, no, there's no holding back. I mean, that's how I am. That's just how I would be, you know, if I go to a tennis match, if I go to, you know, football, basketball, whatever, you know, there's like my belt. I take my Baylor like wrestling belt, championship belt. I take that to football, pretty much only football. It's just, I just want, I just don't want to deal with it all the time. It's some of these other ones. So
I love it.
You know, they gotta give me a reason to bring it, I guess. Like I got it the year after Baylor won the Sugar Bowl and Big 12. So I was like, oh, champions. And now I just keep bringing it, hoping that I get to raise it again.
Yes.
But I need some more than that. I need some bigger, accomplishments. I'll bust it out. I brought it to a few basketball games, but it's just one more thing to keep up with. And now that I have the baby, it's a whole lot more to keep up with. A
whole lot more to keep up with. But I will tell you, knowing the ages, because I have a 15 now, and a 12-year-old, the ages now they're a lot of fun. I mean, it's full on sports time. They're able to be the fandom. I will tell you that the heartbreaker, though, is if your child begins to do what my son did, and he begins to say he loves the Gators, he loves Alabama, he loves Tom Brady, because obviously I'm a Manning guy, I'm a Tennessee guy, and he just does that to get under my skin. So I don't know if your daughter is going to try to pull those maneuvers on you, but hopefully she doesn't.
I really hope not.
All right, folks,
that
it's now
29 account's going to get reallocated real quick.
Absolutely. All right, it's time for the buzzer beater rapid fire questions. I'm going to ask you the question. Just throw out the answer. What first comes to mind? Number 1, favorite Baylor player of all time?
RG3.
Most unforgettable Baylor game you've ever attended?
2021 national title.
Basketball.
Yeah,
all right.
Basketball.
One Baylor legend you'd bring back in their prime?
Mike Singletary.
Oh, see, that's a name not many people probably pulled in to say that's Baylor. Great answer. All right. Green or gold? No hesitation.
Gold.
All right. Tailgate first or straight to your seat?
Oh, tailgate first.
Even with the new baby?
And after.
Even with the baby?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Yeah, we still tailgate. Start at 6 a.m. every football game.
I love it. All right. Most ridiculous thing you've done for Baylor sports?
I've taken my shirt off multiple times at games and waved it around, and let's just say a 6-pack is a pack of beer, not my stomach.
I love it. All right. And what is one wish you have for the fandom in Waco?
I wish that the fans just would basically lock in, like that Waco would be Baylor's fan, or Baylor would be Waco's team. I want that to be the hometown team for the city of Waco.
All right. Well, there's no doubt you're helping make that happen. Awesome. I love it. So great. So great. Travis T-Rex represents family, a passion, and fandom, something passed down through generations. And now, a new generation beginning with your own family. You remind us that fandom isn't just about the game. It's about community. It's about tradition. And it's about showing up. This is the SuperFan Diaries. I'm J.R. Green. See Travis T-Rex Carver and all our superfans at superfandiaries.com. Follow, review, and nominate your favorite fan. And remember, if you make one person smile today, you've had a great day. Make them laugh even better. Thanks for listening. Sick 'em! And goodbye. We are one